Hi, my name's Simon Quattrocchi. I'm from Gabriel Finance Brokers, and I've put this little pod series together to give you information about what the finance industry is about and how to go about some of the home loans that are available to you. So I hope you enjoy this podcast series.
Right, welcome to episode number 3 of the GV Finance Brokers podcast. And today I have Simon with me, and our guest today is Gabriel from ALI Group. Welcome to both of you.
No problem. Thank you.
So Simon, the first question for yourself today is, what are some of the additional products that you offer to your clients as part of the loan process?
No problem, Anthony. 2 additional products is we offer home insurance, which is a simpler product to offer. And the other one is what is called My Protection Plan from ALI Group. So the home insurance is a lot simpler product. It's generally a compulsory product, so all lenders will require it. The My Protection Plan is something that we offer, and we go in regards to offering that, and it protects their lives, which is in regards to life insurance. There's some trauma in there, some other benefits in there, and we go into the discussion in regards to that.
Yeah, fantastic. So what does that process look like? How do you go about helping your clients arrange that home insurance?
The home insurance is a simple referral process. We've already got all the details. So when we've done a valuation, the valuer actually puts a figure on the house, so that makes it easy. And we know what the lender is and how they specifically want the wording. So instead of having the client call with this information, we provide it to the insurance company. They then call them, go through their processes and any other information they need, and then we get the certificate and currency. That also helps simplify the settlement process, because we don't want them coming back and saying, look, they got this wrong, can you get this fixed up? And we're starting to get into a bit of a cycle. So that's part simpler.
Fantastic. And you mentioned the My Protection Plan. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
My Protection Plan is important. And the main reason that is that when we think about insurance, we're always thinking about protecting, or in a sense insuring, our car or our assets, but we never think about our actual personal lives and, if something was to happen to us, what impact that would actually have on us.
Yeah.
So My Protection Plan is a life insurance, and it has some trauma and it's had some other benefits in there. And this is important to us because when you take out a large debt, you don't want to end up in a situation where you're going, oh, what am I going to do? I never protected myself.
Yeah, exactly. Have to cover those risks as well. Gabriel, welcome.
Thank you.
How long has ALI Group been around?
20 years. It's our 20-year anniversary this year.
Well, congratulations. Fantastic.
Yeah. And I'm the very first employee, so my 20-year anniversary.
Oh,
with them as
wow.
well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a great business story just in itself. So when it comes to the My Protection Plan, why do you offer this as a product?
Again, our mission is to protect Australian home and property buyers. So we're there so that people take a long time to save a deposit. It's harder than ever. And if there is a hiccup in your life, particularly around a health event, get cancer, have a heart attack, then you're going to find it really difficult to not only your living expenses, but also to pay for your mortgage. And we don't want that to happen. So there's a gap in the market. Not everybody goes to a financial planner, which, ideally they would, but they can't. They either don't have the time or the money or the inclination. So this is a product that is specifically targeted for people who are borrowing money for a home.
Yep.
And it gives them that peace of mind that if something like a cancer, heart attack, stroke were to happen, they're going to have some financial assistance.
Fantastic. And in terms of those types of insurances to protect ourselves, where does Australia sort of sit in terms of the willingness or the general thought to take out those sort of policies?
Unfortunately, we're incredibly underinsured.
Right.
And I think, as Simon just said, it's because culturally we do not think of getting a car without insuring that car. Your mother says to you, before you go drive out of that drive,
of course,
make sure you put insurance in place. We don't say that about ourselves. We don't want to think that we might pass away. We don't want to think that we might get cancer or have a heart attack. And also, we probably prefer to spend our money on something else.
Of course. There's always other things, isn't there? But it's those priorities. Priorities.
The other part probably to that is the conversation. People aren't having the actual conversation as well.
Yeah.
To actually bring it up and
the awareness isn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those more more difficult conversations, or the harder to have conversations. But do you think that is sort of the main reason why it's not something that's top of mind like it should be. It's not essentially having that conversation and putting those,
I think awareness is probably the big one. And as I said, everyone is aware that you need car insurance. Is everyone aware that you need protection for yourself? I don't think so. It's not a topic of discussion. It's not a barbecue kind
Conversation.
of
True. Yes, correct.
And so that's where having a great broker is helpful, because they can actually raise that and they can sort of discuss whether you have got some risk protection in place.
So true, so true. So the ALI's product is called the My Protection Plan, and we can all sort of understand, death cover in particular. But why is trauma important to this product?
Trauma is very important because, fortunately, even though more and more people that we hear about are getting cancer, heart attack, stroke, but we live through that. And so that is fantastic. The advances in medicine means we live through that. However, it's time-consuming and costly. So it can take you many months to go through chemotherapy. You may not be able to work for that time. You've got out-of-pocket medical expenses. And so trauma cover helps you out in that situation. It gives you that financial breathing space. You can worry about getting better rather than worrying about where is the next dollar coming from.
So important, yeah. And even for myself, I can resonate with that. You often, know that you have expenses, you have debts that you have to cover. But then if something does happen, and again, we don't always want to think about it, but if something does happen, what does that mean for us? Yeah. Do we have that luxury of being able to just concentrate on getting better, getting over the trauma, and everything's taken care of, or are we
Correct.
not? Yeah. So trauma seems, more likely as a life event. Does this mean that there are more claims for trauma?
Absolutely. It's about a third death and terminal illness to 2/3 trauma.
Sure. Fantastic. Yeah, so it is much more common and therefore, even more important to make sure that you're covered.
And people are more underinsured when it comes to trauma than they are to death. People often have some kind of death cover in their super, usually inadequate for what they really need, but they have something. But most people don't have any trauma cover anywhere.
No.
And Gabriel, can you talk to us about why it's important for ALI to share claimant stories?
Look, it's vital for a number of reasons. The first one is that I've heard it said that you buy insurance hoping never to use it. Right?
Sure.
We all hope that nothing is going to happen to us. And a lot of us even believe that. So if you can see that, unfortunately, these things happen to people all of the time, it gives you that awareness that it could happen to me rather than sort of having those blinkers on and thinking like I'm bulletproof, nothing's going to happen to me. So when it's that awareness, it can happen to anybody. Secondly, I think it's important for people to understand that genuine claims are paid and they're paid quickly. And there's, a bit of a feeling sometimes about insurance and they don't pay claims. So showing the fact that we do pay these claims and that people are treated really well through the claims process gives them that comfort that they're taking out some protection. But if something were to happen, they will get paid and they'll get paid in a timely manner.
Yeah, exactly. They
Helps
can
add
rely
to
on
that trust that you're taking that product and that you know that you're going to be covered.
Correct.
And Simon, for yourself, is it difficult to broach the subject, in regards to My Protection Plans with your clients?
Actually, I find it quite easy. So once we're getting through the loan process and we're at the loan document stage, I'll bring it up again. So I always mention it during the process, but it's that loan sign up where it's a little bit more excitement, and it becomes a lot more real for them. They might be signing up for a $400,000 mortgage, and then I broach I bring up the subject at that point as well. For me, it's very, very easy because you are taking out a large debt, so you need to have that discussion in regards to. People understand death. They understand people get cancer. They understand people have heart attacks. So it's not a hard subject to bring up. People do understand that. But it's, as I said, there's no awareness there. So when you bring it up and go, oh, I don't have that. And some people just turn around and go, oh, I'll take that. Or they'll have that
hesitancy.
Yes. But you make sure you bring it up and we can make adjustments. So we can always, because obviously for some people, it might be the cost hits them and because they've never thought about it. So we can make those adjustments for them. But no, it's not a hard subject to bring up. It's actually quite simple.
Yep.
And for me, it's important because I've had clients that have had claims and I've had clients where I've encouraged them and said, look, here's it. Would you like to cover your mortgage? And then they've said no. And then unfortunately, they needed it.
Yeah.
So it's important that we do offer it and that we've done the right thing.
And I think that also speaks volumes as well in terms of yourself as a broker, making sure that you're looking after the client's best interests. As you mentioned, they're taking out a sizable mortgage, and then attached to that there is risk, obviously, and you're helping to mitigate that risk with the right protection and the right covers.
Correct.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, Gabriel, you also have an extra benefit, and that's offered to your clients when they take up the My Protection plan, which is actually called Extra Benefits. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, so we realised a few years ago that the cost of living has just been skyrocketing, and it is most people's primary concern. So what we did was we introduced a program called Extra Benefits, and for our policyholders to help them with the day-to-day cost of living.
Fantastic.
So the way that it works is that they can purchase some gift vouchers at a discounted rate, and they're across so many different retailers. So, for example, if you're moving into a new home, there are retailers that you can buy your furniture from, and you can buy your fridges and your washing machine, electronics, all of those sort of things, and you can save hundreds of dollars. But the one that really appeals to everybody is that you get discounts off your grocery shopping. And so people are saving, $75, $100 a month just on the discounts they're getting through this program, and it goes a long way to offset the cost of the insurance. So people often think that they're not going to get anything out of insurance unless they claim. This way, they get a benefit that's tangible immediately. Some people are saving more money than it's costing them in insurance.
That's fantastic. It's definitely an extra benefit for sure.
I use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Excellent. So, Simon, look, this is well sort of covered the particular topics and obviously what ALI Group has to offer. Is there anything else you'd like to add in terms of different protections in regards to these types of finances?
No, I think we've pretty much covered it all. It's the home insurance is important and it's compulsory, so lenders won't settle without it, so that's important. But definitely the My Protection plan, very, very important as well. So it always will be offered.
Fantastic. And Gabriel, any kind of final notes?
Yeah, my final note is really that what Simon does is gives everybody the opportunity to consider what their plan B is. Do they have a plan in place if something goes wrong? So, I think that sort of education process that he does is really important for his clients. So they make an informed decision. Rather than not having broached a subject, they've actually stopped, listened, thought about it, and then they make an informed decision.
Fantastic. Well, we'll have all the links in the episode show notes. And thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to the GV Finance podcast. New episodes will be live each month, so stay tuned for up-to-date information about all things finance. Please subscribe on your preferred podcast platform and share on your social media channels.